Good afternoon and welcome to the initial airing of the Acton Agenda Show. My name is Peter Barry. I'm Chairman of the Board of Selectmen, and with me is Town Manager Steve Ledoux. This is a new initiative by the Selectmen to communicate to a wider audience in town and get information out ahead of time about the agenda items that the Selectmen will be considering at our meeting on Monday night in Town Hall. That's July 11th in Town Hall, starting at 7 p.m. So what we intend to do is go through the agenda, which has been posted on the town website today, and explain what the issues are and what the Selectmen's discussion will be about. And these shows will continue for the Thursday before every Selectmen's meeting. They will be available on the ActonTV website as part of a recording that you can click on and access the show. Or if you want to watch the TV program, they'll be run on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday as well. And check the ActonTV website to confirm those times. In the future, as we continue to develop the show and work out the kinks, we intend to have a Twitter feed and an email address where citizens can ask questions between the shows, so that in the future the Selectmen and the Town Manager can answer individual questions citizens might have about the current issues in town. So if we could get the agenda put up, let me just talk about what we're going to be considering on Monday night. And if you're interested in accessing the agenda as well as the documents that the Selectmen receive in their package to back up these agenda items, you need to go to the acton-ma.gov website, which is the town's website. If you scroll down to the bottom of the page, Online Services, click on Public Documents. That will take you to another website, so you click on Proceed to Cite. It'll bring up the DocuShare section of the town's website where all the public documents are stored. Click on the Board of Selectmen. Click on 2016. Click on 7/11 for July 11th, obviously. And then click on Agenda, and it will have a copy of the agenda as well as all the backup documents that relate to each one of those items. So again, getting back to the agenda, we opened the meetings. We have started reciting the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of each meeting. Just as of the last meeting, the Selectmen decided to do that in order to honor our servicemen and women and recognize our allegiance to the nation. The meeting always opens with citizens' concerns. If anyone has any concerns about issues that are not on the agenda that night, we hear citizens at the beginning of the meeting. I, as the chairman, will give an update on current town issues and things that are happening around town. The town manager, who runs the day-to-day operation of the town, will give his report, and then we get into the public hearings and appointments part of the agenda. The first item on that is an alleged underage service at Red, White, and Brew package store in West Acton. The Selectmen in Acton are the licensing authorities for all bars and liquor establishments. And if you go on the website, there should be backup material for this. What's going to happen with this is the police made an arrest of individuals involved in this complaint. And my understanding currently is there is a court case proceeding against those individuals. That case will not be heard until the middle of July. We will be opening this hearing, and I'm anticipating that we will continue it until after the court case gets resolved, so that we can have that information about how the court has dealt with these allegations before we make any decisions about how to deal with the license for the establishment. So I'm assuming that will be continued to sometime in August. I believe August 8th we have a hearing. we have a meeting scheduled, and the hearing will be continued to August 8th. The next item is the Selectmen to review and hold public comment on a draft aggregation plan. There is a copy of the draft aggregation plan under the Selectmen's agenda on the website, as I explained in the DocuShare. This came about at annual town meeting in April this year. The town adopted a state law that allows the town to enter into a electric utility aggregation plan with a wholesaler who purchases large amounts of electric power and sells them to local customers. You may have received solicitations in your mail from various of these aggregation companies. This scheme allows the town to sign up with one of these aggregation companies to offer alternative electric service to citizens in Acton. Once the town meeting had adopted the statute, the town put together a committee, including Steve Ledoux, the manager, Steve Long from Green Acton, a private citizens group that works on environmental issues in town, and the town's advisory board on environmental issues, a woman named Mary Smith, who's a member of the Green Advisory Board in town. Both of those individuals are experts in electric utility service and this aggregation issue. They, along with the town manager, interviewed a number of consultants who advise individual towns on these issues, and picked a group called the Peregrine Energy Group that also works with Bay State Consultants to advise the town on this. This municipal aggregation plan is a preliminary plan that the town has to put together under the statute to submit to the state's Department of Public Utilities and get approved before the town can actually go out and solicit bids from individual aggregation companies. So it deals with the questions of what the eventual aggregation plan might look like. What will happen is if and when the town decides to enter into a contract with one of these aggregators, and the town does not have to do that if we go out to bid and the market is not appropriate, and the prices that we receive for aggregation are higher, for instance, than Eversource is currently charging, because there's a different price rate setting for local utilities than these aggregators charge, then we can reject all the bids. We don't have to necessarily enter into a contract. If we do, everyone in town would automatically be enrolled in the aggregation plan, unless within 30 days after you receive notice, you opt out of it and decide to stay with Eversource or go with another aggregator. You always have that choice. Even if you originally go with the aggregator, you can always opt out and go back to Eversource or another source to purchase your utility power. That's only the cost of the power itself. The delivery charges stay the same. Eversource continues to charge for delivering this power. You'll get the same bill from Eversource. It will have the rates that with the program that you decide to sign up for. There'll be a lot more information about this coming out. This, again, is a preliminary plan, and as we move forward and decide to solicit bids from aggregators, this plan requires that the consultants set up a website, have information available for people, be able to have a phone number where people can call to answer questions. We will be providing a lot more information down the road about that topic. But Monday night, the selectmen are going to review and hold the public comment on this draft aggregation plan. Again, a copy of it is available on the town's website under DocuShare, and you're welcome to come Monday night and comment on the aggregation plan. We have a common victular license. Again, the selectmen are the licensing authorities in town. This is for Oswald Philho, who is taking over what's Bella Familia on Great Road Restaurant. and he's going to rename it Phil Ho's Cucina. And it'll be operating under the new name and new ownership. That's a requirement as a licensing board. We have to approve this. Generally, these are pretty straightforward. The Board of Health has regulations governing food service, and they inspect these restaurants, so they will also have to issue a permit for this restaurant. I believe they have a liquor license as well, so that's a separate process where they will have to come to us to transfer the liquor license to the new owner. They also have to get approval from the State Alcoholic Beverage Control Commission to do that. The selectmen, under selectmen's business on the agenda, first item is we are going to ratify our goals and assign selectmen to be liaisons to them. Every year, the selectmen hold a goal-setting meeting. We go through an exercise where all the selectmen choose particular goals that we hope to accomplish within the next year. And then we narrow those down to the top 5. So the short-term goals that the selectmen agreed on this year were to complete a master plan for 348 to 364 Main Street. That's the piece of property that's across from the entrance and exit to Route 2 on 27 there as you're driving into Kelly's Corner from Acton Center, Town Hall. It had been owned by a developer who was going to put a child care facility in there. A couple of years ago, last year, the town meeting authorized the town to purchase the property, and we have put together a committee to develop a master plan to decide what to do with it. You probably have noticed that the town has cleaned up the property considerably, and it's much more presentable than it was by the prior owner. And Selectman Katie Green is in charge of that committee, and I believe they have all their members appointed now, and will be meeting going forward and developing a master plan on what needs to be done with that site. The second short-term goal was to create a West Acton Development Committee, including sewer. This is to talk to the business owners in West Acton, the citizens in West Acton, and consider possible economic development initiatives in West Acton, possibly extending the sewer to West Acton. We have funded a feasibility study, which I'm not sure yet, Steve, if we've had that completed.
It's not completed. It'll be in front of the board probably early fall for review.
Okay, so once we determine whether the sewers are feasible and what the anticipated costs might be, we will be considering whether or not to propose to a future town meeting extending the sewer district into West Acton. South Acton train station parking and commuter solutions. We worked long and hard to get a new train station in South Acton. Parking continues to be an issue. We have buses that we're running, shuttle buses from satellite lots that's helping. We've got the Crosstown Connect that's going from from East Acton over to the train station through town to carry people, and is coordinating with the train schedule. We have been speaking with some property owners on adjoining land to see if we can acquire property for more parking. So that is one of the goals the selectmen will be working on over the next year. There was a tie for 4th and 5th, develop implementation plan for the new stormwater permit. At the fall town meeting last year, town meeting approved a new bylaw in town to comply with the EPA federal requirements for stormwater runoff. This is all the runoff off the streets and hardscape in town. The town has a lot of requirements to update their sumps that collect the
discharge.
collect the discharge from the runoff. and we need to develop an implementation plan for that and work with the Finance Committee and School Committee to enhance communication with the public. This program is part of that initiative, but we'll be working with both of those committees to try to coordinate better information flow. Okay, the long-term goals that the selectmen developed were, number one, develop a comprehensive capital plan. This has to do with the town's buildings and the school buildings. Both the schools and the town currently have committees put together to deal with capital plans. Both the schools and the towns have done studies by consultants to evaluate the condition of the buildings, and the schools are currently working on the second part of that, which has come up with costs to repair them. And we both recognize, the schools and the town, that we need to deal with our buildings and make sure they're up to repair. And that'll be happening over a number of years. Analyze the fire and the EMS service delivery. The town is considering going to a paramedic service rather than the current EMT level services the town offers for ambulance calls. Build more affordable housing. That was a goal also of the town's comprehensive housing plan. Development of target economic development plan for business districts. And finally, number 5, develop a plan for sewer expansion. All of those the selectmen will be focusing on over the longer term. And we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back soon with more information from the Acton agenda.
Hi, I'm Cindy Williams, and I believe that our seniors deserve the very best care, and that home care should be personal. That's why I recommend Visiting Angels, the compassionate caregivers that give you peace of mind. Visiting Angels provides personal care, meal preparation, light housekeeping, companionship, and so much more. To put an angel by your side, go to visitingangels.com.
Visiting Angels, America's choice in home care.
Welcome back to the Acton agenda. Our initial viewing of the program intended to get out information about the Board of Selectmen's agendas that will be coming up on Monday nights following the filming of this program. And we were reviewing the agenda before we went on a break. My name is Peter Berry. I'm chairman of the Board of Selectmen, and with me is Town Manager Steve Ledoux. Again, in the future, we'll have an ability for citizens to send questions they might have about issues that are happening in town, and we'll be able to respond to those as part of this program. So going on back down the agenda, number 5 under Selectmen's business, discussion of fall town meeting, including closing town warrant. We do have a date scheduled for a fall town meeting in case we need one. The selectmen have not yet decided whether or not we will hold one, but we always have to reserve space at the schools because of their conflicting schedules. This year we reserved space in the upper gym because the auditorium was not available on dates that we could access it. And that will be October 5th should we decide to hold a fall town meeting. The town manager, Steve Ledoux, will be presenting for the selectmen to consider some guidelines on whether or not it is necessary to hold a fall town meeting. We'll be closing the warrant for the fall town meeting. That simply is an exercise that means that citizen petitions can no longer be added to the warrant, and the selectmen will decide, if we do hold a town meeting in the fall, what items to put on the warrant. The next item, number 6 on the agenda, is designating an implementing authority pursuant to section 5.1 of bylaw 10. Again, if you go on the town website, into DocuShare, under the Board of Selectmen, there are backup documents that explain these items. This is simply getting back to the bylaw that the town meeting approved last fall to bring the town in compliance with federal EPA standards for runoff of streets and hardscapes in town, designating an authority to oversee that. Town department will be determined by the selectmen to take charge of that. Number 7, the selectmen are going to approve Acton 2020 committee membership change from 5 full members to 3 full members. 2020 is the committee in town that deals with the town master plan. Acton 2020 is the name of the master plan. They're the implementation committee. They're coordinating all the efforts by all the other boards and committees in town, as well as town staff, to ensure that we're moving forward to meet those goals and objectives that were set forth in the master plan. Finally, number 8 is a discussion on a 3-board meeting of the Acton-Boxborough Regional School Committee, Finance Committee, and Board of Selectmen. We kicked off our Acton leadership group with a meeting last week. That's the meeting of representatives of these 3 boards, the School Committee, the Finance Committee, and the Board of Selectmen, that coordinate putting together the budget and making a final budget for recommendation to the Springtown meeting. We have, the last few years, had 3 board meetings of the full boards together. This year we're considering making this a retreat where we would meet at a member's house in town and have a moderator who would do some team building exercises among the various members, followed by a social activity. So communication is key between these 3 governing boards in town, and we want to make sure that we all know each other and we are able to work well together to meet the interests of the town. So finally, we're moving on to the consent agenda that we always have on our agendas. And the first item is simply approving some meeting minutes. Item 10 and 11 are 1-day alcoholic beverage licenses. Again, the selectmen are the licensing authorities in town. These are generally celebrations. These are both at Nara Park. So we issue 1-day liquor licenses under standards set forth in the town. The police chief reviews these applications and approves them. And the backup material, the applications, are again found in DocuShare. We're going to reappoint the committee for the Acting Nursing Services Task Force. Their original appointment expired. They still need more time to complete their work, so we're going to reappoint them. More committee appointments. This is to the Main Street Master Plan Committee, Bill Mullen, Ann Chang, and David Brown. Another 1-day alcoholic beverage license. We like to always recognize the gifts that the town receives, particularly for recreation activities. All of the activities the Recreation Department puts on at Nara Park, including the Nara Park itself, are funded through a revolving fund. No town funds go into those activities. The Recreation Department funds it themselves, and particularly Maura Healy in the Recreation Department is very, very good worker at getting contributions from businesses in town. So the first gift is actually for the planning department, $5,000 from Keenan & Son LLP to provide funding for town council review services associated with a definitive subdivision residential compound for Jamie's Way and Thomas Drive. That is, I believe, on the corners of Route 111 and Prospect Street. There's a change in the name for doing business of Poe's Barbecue and Ribs. They're going to change their name to Ginger Court. That's pretty pro forma. Executive session minutes. Accept a gift from Two Natural Resources. Selectmen to accept a gift valuing $220 for a pair of binoculars donated by Hearts Corporation. Planning Department, Selectmen to accept a gift totaling $500 from Nagog Homes LLC in lieu of the sidewalk fund. Rather than requiring developers to build sidewalks if there are already adequate sidewalks on the site, we ask them to contribute to our sidewalk fund. Here are a couple of Recreation Department gifts. A gift totaling $500 from Steinberg Lally Charitable Foundation for payment of services from a classical concert held on June 30th at Nara. The Steinberg Lally Charitable Foundation is a very generous beneficiary to the town, not only in the Recreation Department, in other areas such as affordable housing, and we thank them for that. And another gift of $500 from an anonymous citizen for payment for the classical concert. If you haven't been to the concerts out at Nara Park, this was a great concert by classical musicians, very talented musicians. We had on the 4th of July a band that was a Jimmy Buffett and Beach Boys played their music. And there are several other concerts coming up that you're certainly welcome to attend. Steve, do you have anything you wanted to add to all that talking I've been?
Well, no, I mean, I guess the only thing I would add is the electric aggregation plan that Peter had talked about early on. The hearing we're having Monday night is really to send some regulations to Department of Public Utilities and Department of Energy Resources. They have to basically sanction us to go through a competitive bidding for electric rates for our citizens and businesses. So it's kind of the very first step. The real issue will be when we go out to bid. The selectmen will have to make some choices. We're kind of viewing this as maybe there'll be 4 choices if you consider opting out of the program. One to be kind of a default rate, or maybe a little more green energy, or even more green energy. So those are things we'll be talking about with the selectmen as we go out to bid on the process. And just wanted to amplify one thing that Peter had said, that there are 3 consulting firms in the state that look at aggregation, and we interviewed all 3. In addition to the 3 people Peter mentioned, Andrea Ristine, who's our superintendent of municipal properties, and Matt Selby, our land use director, also are on the review committee that picked Peregrine Energy. And one of the reasons we picked Peregrine Energy is they've had a lot of experience in this area, and their principal, Paul Gromer, was the past Secretary of Energy Affairs for the Commonwealth, so he's got a deep knowledge of the field.
All right, thank you very much. We certainly appreciate citizen input. Again, in the future, we'll have an opportunity for people to send questions through Twitter or email that we can respond to as part of this program. If you want to address any of the issues that are on the agenda for Monday, please come to our meeting. And we always allow for citizen input on each particular agenda item, as well as having citizens comment if there is another issue in town that you wish to bring to the selectmen's attention. We're always happy to hear about that. So thank you very much, and hope you found all this information helpful.